Let's look at composite functions. Now, composite functions are when the output of one function is used as the input of another function. For example, if you have a function f and another function g, then the function f of g of x is said as, this is g of x is the function of f. So this is what we call composition of functions. Now, the order in which the functions are applied is very important. For example, f of g of x is not the same as g of f of x. These are two totally different things. So you must take note of that. So if we have two or more functions, then we could be having many different permutations of those functions that lead to very many different composite functions. Now, f of g of x could be written as f of g of x. This shows that the inner function, which is g of x, has to be applied first before the other function, which is f. Now, to evaluate a composition of a function for a numerical value, we can just substitute the value into the inside function and then use that value or the result of the function to substitute it into the outside function, which is f. For example, if you have h of x being equals to x squared and f of x being equals to x minus 5. Suppose you are told to find h of f of 2. So how do you go about this? So in this case, the inner function is f of 2. So we first work out f of 2. So f of 2 will be equals to, where there is x, we substitute it with 2. So we shall have 2 minus 5. And therefore f of 2 is equals to negative 3. Now we can substitute this value into h. Now we said h of x is equals to x squared. Now our x, we are replacing it with f of 2, which is minus 3. So we shall have h of negative 3 is equals to negative 3 squared. And therefore, this will be equals to, this is 9. If it had been the other way around and we were told to find f of h of 2. If it had been, remember the first one, it was h of f of 2. Now this one is f of h of 2. So here, this is now the inner function, and h of x, we were told, is x squared. So h of 2 would be 2 squared, which is equals to 4. Now, f of x is x minus 5. So it will become f of h of x, which is 4, and is equals to 4 minus 5, which is equals to negative 1. So now you can notice that we come up with different answers. This is f of h of 2, which gives us negative 1, while h of f of 2 gives us 9. So the order matters, and it totally gives different results. Now let's look at some of the common misconceptions when dealing with composite functions. One of the mistakes is students tend to think that f of g of x means f of x times g of x. This is completely wrong. This is not right. For example, if f of x is equals to x plus 1 and g of x is equals to 2x minus 3, the error will be to think that f of g of x is equals to x plus 1 times x 2x minus 3. This is not right. Rather, the correct answer would be for this, it would be 2x minus 2. So this is wrong and this is the right approach. Another common misconception or error that students make is applying the functions in the wrong order. For example, if you have f of g of h of x, this means, so the right way to work out this is you should apply the functions from left to right. From right to left. So you work this way, going in this direction, rather than working going to this direction. So that's a common error that students make. So this here would mean that you should apply in this order. You should work out h first, then you work out g, and then you work out f. That is the right order, from left to right. Sorry, I'm mistaking the directions. This is right and this is left. So it should be from right to left. So you apply from right to left, going to the left. So you start with the inwards, going outwards to your left. So that's the right order. Sorry about that. Now let's look at some examples. For example, if you've been given f of x is equals to 2x plus 1 and g of x is equals to 4x minus 3, find f of g of x. So here the solution would be, we substitute g of x into f of x. So the expression for g of x is equals to 4x minus 3. So we replace for every x in f of x, we replace it with 4x minus 3. So f of g of x then will become, now this is the function for f of x. So for every x we put this. So we shall have 2 into x, which becomes this g of x, 4x minus 3, then plus 1. So this will be equals to 2 times 4 is 8x minus 2 times 3 is 6 plus 1, which is equals to 8x minus 5. So this is our answer. If you can't do this, you could first solve for g of x independently and then solve for, but here there is nothing like solving independent since we are not given a value, an inner value. They didn't tell us maybe f of g of 4, then there we would solve independently. But for this is the approach. Let's look at another example. Given f of x is equals to x squared minus 3 and g of x is equals to 2x, find, this means f of g. So f of g, find f of g of 3. Here the solution will be, first you have to understand that this is the same as f of g of 3. So now let us evaluate the inner function first. So g of x is equals to 2x. Now g of 3 will be equals to 2 times 3, which is equals to 6. So we've calculated the inner. Let's now calculate the outer, which is f of g of 3, and g of 3 is 6. So we shall have f of 6. Remember, f of x is equals to x squared minus 3. Therefore, f of 6 will be equals to, where there is x, we replace with 6. So 6 squared minus 3, which will be equals to 6 times 6 is 36 minus 3, which is equals to 33. So this is the final answer for f of g of 3. Let's look at another example. Given that f of x is equals to 3x squared, find f of x. Now here we are looking at substituting f of f is a function of itself. So first we substitute f of x into itself. So f of x, this is the same as f of x. So since f of x is 3x squared, therefore f of x will be equals to f of this, we replace with 3x, so to be f of 3x squared. Now we need to solve for f of 3 of x squared will be equals to, remember f of x is equals to 3x squared. Therefore f of 3x squared will be equals to, where there is x you replace with this. So it will be 3 into x, which is 3x squared squared. Hope you understand that. So this will be equals to 3. When you work out this, it becomes times, this becomes 9x power 4, which is equals to 3 times 9 is 27. So 27x power 4. So this is f of x. This is what it is equals to. So that's how you deal with composite functions. Thank you so much for watching. Please do not forget to subscribe to this channel for more amazing videos. Bye.